So in the background gameplay, you'll actually see a couple of games that I had with voice actor Chris Edgerly for Pathfinder. He hit me up a couple of days ago. We decided to get some games in, and he's such an amazing guy, and we actually got 2 wins. And I was playing on controller, so quite a big accomplishment for me, I feel like. But today, I want to talk about a console update that could be really big to Apex Legends. So make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date, all things Apex Legends news related. And I also want to say this one might be a little bit shorter. I've been kind of like taking days off if I don't have a lot of topics to talk about because I'm so used to making 8 to 10 minute videos. But to be honest with you, if I only have 1 or 2 things to talk about, I may just go back to just posting some 4-minute videos here and there as well. I also wanted to say, if you guys want specific things to be talked about on the channel, a lot of you already do this, but if you tag me in things on Twitter, if you DM me things on Twitter or Discord about topics that you really want to bring light to, my DMs are always open and I would love to hear from you. And I know a lot of people like to see their names on the videos as well and maybe even get a little bit of a shout out. So yeah, feel free to DM me. Someone messaged me a couple weeks ago saying that they had something, but they were just like afraid to kind of DM me and didn't want to bother me. Like, bro, I'm just a normal guy. I'm an average Joe. Feel free to reach out. So the first thing I wanted to make mention of was actually, you're so used to hearing me say Alpha Intel, but not Charlie Intel, because Charlie Intel does a little bit more about Call of Duty, but this is where I'm tying all of this stuff together. So first thing was coming from Charlie Intel. This was actually about 2 weeks ago, and this was an update to Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2's anti-cheat. And here is what they said. Their thing is called Ricochet. So, you know, Apex's is called like easy anti-cheat. It's like a very generic one, right? Well, Ricochet is like Modern Warfare 2's custom anti-cheats, like specifically for that game, right? And so they basically said it can now detect users using controllers with Cronus software within their games. And if you use this, you're going to get a notification message saying like basically this is an unsupported device warning. If you don't like unplug this thing, further actions will take place. And obviously, you know, it's kind of a good thing because there's a lot of issues with Apex Legends with people using Cronuses or Cronus Zen Max, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't really use all that stuff, so I don't really understand what it all does, but I just know that there are some instances where you can use it to abuse unfair gameplay. Now there is like a what's kind of weird is there is a way, from what I've heard, especially like strike packs and stuff, I've actually heard there is like a way to use these that are not cheating at all. Like for instance, a strike pack, I actually almost bought one years ago and I didn't even know what it was. All I knew is that it had paddles and I was like, oh cool, I can make my normal controller like a scuff controller, right? Well, then I realized after all these years that that's exactly what a strike pack was, but apparently you can modify them to some degree. So that's what I was unfamiliar with at the time. We also know that Fortnite had added something recently a couple months ago saying, you know, why am I receiving a restricted hardware warning in Fortnite? Well, it's because they have now added some things that are competitive advantageous to your gameplay, and we've banned those things. So now when those things are detected, you know, i.e. Cronus Zen or Cronus Zen Max, whatever it's called, strike packs, I guess, players will receive this in-game warning that players must remove the attached hardware device and reinstart Fortnite in order to continue playing. Attempt to bypass this restriction will result in a permanent ban from Fortnite. Restricted devices will include but are not limited to Cronus Zen and Cronus Max as well. So we've seen Fortnite do this, we've seen Call of Duty do this, but we've also saw where PS5 had made an attempt to go even further, even deeper, and basically launch their own anti-cheat software kind of thing where they would be able to detect a lot of these things as well. Foreign objects, foreign devices that were plugged in and being used that were not allowed. And basically the idea was to launch this anti-cheat with a lot of their developers for their games. So instead of having to rely on an anti-cheat from whatever the game decided to use, there was like a built-in anti-cheat within like the consoles themselves that wouldn't allow it to begin with. Now, when PlayStation had actually announced this, many people got really upset because they thought that, you know, there's been a lot of people in the past that use this same software for their anti-cheat and actually made the games worse. It was actually already introduced on PC, and PC players were saying, trust me, you do not want this software. It only ever causes problems. But to my knowledge, a lot of this stuff has been used already and it's all been fine and dandy. But regardless, with every single competitive game out there doing this and taking this approach, it seems very likely that Apex may join the club as well. Don't forget, a couple of months ago that Hideouts over at the Apex security team had also tweeted out that he had made lots of bans, lots of quote detections, he specifically uses that wordage, and lots of improvement and even more coming. He also says that this year 2023 is shaping up to be a solid one already for the Apex security team, and we're looking forward to seeing everything take shape the more we move into the year. So it seems like they have some changes that they are looking for throughout the year of 2023 with their whole security team. What's also noteworthy is Dexerto had actually quoted in the article that this tweet came after many players specifically called out Easy Anti-Cheat for not being that effective. But with the PlayStation 5 trying to pick up on all these things as well, and not just the games themselves, it makes it seem like they're really taking this seriously. I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox joined in on the conversation, but the question is, when this all comes to fruition, will the console players get their 120 FPS in the mix as well? Of course, God only knows. We had been talking about cross regression for so long. It does finally seem like it's coming very soon. For a while there, we thought it might not come at all. My guess was that 120 FPS would always come at the same time that cross progression did, but I can't be so sure. Kind of sad, because when you search up Apex 120 FPS on Twitter and look at the latest, there are countless tweets every single day about players begging for 120 FPS, and they have not missed a single day of asking for this feature as well. Console players deserve it by now, man. It's been a while since they put up this graphic and said that it was coming in the future, and still nothing. So I'm interested to know, while you're in the comments, what do you think about all these console developers, and specifically game developers as well, targeting these Cronus Zen, Cronus Max, Strike Packs, whatever, and trying to ban them so that they're no longer usable? I always thought it was a good thing, right? Everybody be so happy that they're getting rid of this, but I actually had some DMs last time saying here's why it's not good, because a lot of people don't use it for harm. It seems like PlayStation's definitely getting involved, but is Xbox going to follow suit? Or maybe even Apex themselves add all of these detection things as well? I don't know. Interested to see what you guys have to say. See you all in the next one. Take care of yourselves. It's Viber Die, only positivity, and until the next time, I will see you all later, Gators.